The Winchester House in San Jose, California is no ordinary home. Whispers seem to come from the walls, staircases lead nowhere, doors open to nothing, and a groundskeeper roams the property doing work that's never done. Despite the Winchester Mystery House's cheerful appearance, the massive California mansion's history is edged with a tale of violence, grief, madness, and guilt. Find out what exactly is inside one of the most haunted houses in America. Sara Winchester was a New England debutante who was possessed with brilliance, a child prodigy whose portfolio of talent stretched from literature, music, to languages. In Connecticut high society, she swiftly earned the title of Belle of New Haven. In 1862, she married William Wirt Winchester, whose father had acquired a vast fortune through the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. The couple inherited the fortune following her father-in-law's death in 1880. The newlywed couple welcomed a daughter named Annie, their only child, 4 years later. Sadly, she only lived 6 weeks. After William died of tuberculosis in 1881, his share of Winchester Repeating Arms, roughly 60%, which was valued at approximately $20 million at the time, according to the LA Times, transferred to Sara. In today's money, by the way, that's about $520 million. Armed with enough cash to do just about anything, Sara sets her sights for California. According to tabloids from the time, her cross-country move was inspired by a psychic who told her to move west and build a home for the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles. There was just one catch. Construction on the house could never stop. If you continue building, you will live, the medium warned Sara. Stop and you will die. She moved to California in 1886 with her sister and niece, purchasing an unfinished 8-room farmhouse in what is now San Jose. Work commenced immediately on the property, and as the legend goes, it never stopped, continuing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, for the next 38 years. The house cost a cool $5.5 million. Sara issued many bizarre demands to her builders, including the building of trapdoors, secret passages, a skylight in the floor, spiderweb windows, and staircases that led to nowhere. There are also doors that open to blank walls, and a dangerous door on the second floor that opens up to nothing, save for an alarming drop to the yard far below. Winchester was superstitious and was obsessed with the number 13. There were 13 hooks in the seance room, 13 overflow drain holes in the sink in the Hall of Fires, and 13 parts to her will, which she signed 13 times. There were 13 bathrooms in the house, but strangely there was only one shower. In 1906, the Winchester House rose 7 stories high. When the Great Earthquake struck San Francisco, part of the Winchester House was damaged, including the bedroom in which Mrs. Winchester was sleeping that night. Although she was unharmed, she believed the spirits were trying to tell her something. A 1900 postcard of the place shows a tower that was later toppled by the natural disaster. That tower, plus several other rooms destroyed in the disaster, were never rebuilt but cordoned off. As for Sara, she was safe but stuck in the Daisy bedroom, named for the floral motif in its windows. She had to be dug out by her staff, as its entrance was blocked off by rubble, which Sara believed was also the ghost's doing. However, many people speculate that there were never any ghosts at all, and that Sara was coping with her grief with a flurry of activity, or that she was simply crazy. However, Winchester Mystery House historian Janine Bohm paints a happier picture, imagining that the renovations reminded Sara of the good times when she and William built their New Haven home together. Although the house now stands with more than 161 rooms, spanning 24,000 square feet, the house Sara Winchester originally bought was just an 8-room farmhouse. She slept in a different bedroom every night, never repeating rooms 2 nights in a row. The house had 40 bedrooms. In 1975, workers discovered a new room inside the Winchester Mystery House, latched closed by a 1910 lock on the door. The forgotten room had 2 chairs and an early 1900 phonograph speaker hidden inside. The theory is that Sara may have simply forgotten about the room and built over it. And another strange oddity was a hidden safe that was discovered in the ballroom. Found inside were 2 locks of hair, one of Winchester's deceased daughter and her husband. There's only one known photo of the widow Winchester, which was taken surreptitiously. Though she was reclusive, she was never alone. She had 18 servants, 18 gardeners, and the ever-present construction team working the grounds. Every morning, Sara met with the foreman to discuss the always evolving building plans. While at night, according to legend, Sara carried the only key to her beloved seance room, where she would commune nightly with spirits in order to receive new instructions for designing her house. The room features only one entrance but 3 exits. Whether you believe in the ghost stories or not, it's a pretty strange coincidence that once she started the reconstruction of her mansion in 1886, Sara was not known to experience another close family death until she passed away at the ripe old age of 82. Maybe her efforts appeased the ghosts after all. Illusionist Harry Houdini visited the house after Winchester had died to try to dispute the stories of spirits haunting the house, but he couldn't do it. According to the home's historians, several visitors have reported hearing unusual sounds, especially in the third-floor corridor. An alternate theory on the Winchester house's perplexing design declares that Sara was creating a puzzle full of encryptions. There's speculations that clues to the house's true meaning are in the ballroom, the Shakespeare windows, and in the iron gates. The Winchester Mystery House's pure strangeness has inevitably earned it the reputation as one of America's most haunted houses. To this day, the Winchester House is a destination for believers who hope to have a paranormal encounter of their own. No one knows the exact intent behind its construction, and no one ever will. If anything, the new film titled Winchester, starring Dame Helen Mirren, will only perpetuate the myth of its haunted origins.